own feet for that.
Well,
No summoner teleport there. Meanwhile, on the other side, we actually do have Ignite being picked up on that Taric, so he is going to go for that anti-heal, try to play aggressively. The Graves has Flash and a summoner heal for himself, so no exhaust, actually, interestingly. Whereas Nif actually taking Clairvoyance, so no Clairvoyance for White Lotus, yes for SK, but that Ignite is going to really counter that heal spam. So, the Soraka heal is worth about 320 at max rank. The summoner heal on Sivir is going to be another 300 or something. Those are both going to get shut down during those 5 seconds. And another Ignite being up on Yorick. So actually we see a lot of Ignites, or 3 Ignites for White Lotus. 0 exhaust, they're not necessarily trying to shut down damage output, but they are trying to really crush those heals through.
Yes, absolutely. And that is absolutely a strong strategy against what's going on there from the other side. The question for me is really, I'm just looking at this. Yorick is going to be able to farm against Iraga no matter what, right? He's just going to spam ghouls all day long. Mid lane, Brand versus Kassadin. Yes, Kassadin can shut down any caster just because of his silence, but I can also see Brand just being safe, and once his W is high up enough, he can just farm safely if he wants to. So I really think this is going to come down to bottom lane and junglers. And I have to say here, in my opinion, Skarner is the stronger jungler than Maokai.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the ganks are going to be. So Soraka and Sivir can't force anyone to sit still,
right,
whereas Taric definitely can, and Graves to a small extent with a smoke cloud, though not exactly a giant slow there. And so I'm thinking about the gank paths. Bottom lane should be decently safe for purple team. There's no kind of wall you can kind of get around. So that should be okay. Blue team is actually the scary lane to be in at bot lane, whereas this Aurelia at top lane is actually a little bit difficult. You can get around through that tri-brush kind of gank there. And with Skarner and Yorick, you've got 2 permaslows, which are the exact types of things you want to fight Aurelia. Aurelia's passive is that she takes basically shorter duration stun, slows, roots,
which
things like that.
Which doesn't matter if you can just refresh it all the time.
Which, if they last 2 seconds and you can cast them on a 1.5 second cooldown, who cares? So interestingly, Aurelia actually might be pretty gankable here. That's actually a good lineup there that could shut that down. And meanwhile, of course, you do have the Taric stun and the possibility of the Skarner jumping at you. But when your ranged AD is Sivir, she has that spell shield that's going to make things just a bit difficult for you to deal with. So,
hey, Freak, let's talk really quickly about camera. Would you like me to run the camera? Would you like to run the camera? I can do it.
Whichever one. I think if one of us misses a fight, we can try to switch over. But maybe we'll sit on mine for now, and then we'll see how it goes. But if I'm failing at moving the camera around, then we'll switch it over. We'll see, who has the better habits.
All right. Yes, absolutely. Cool. So I do like the skins here, except for Yorick. Yorick a bit lazy there on the skins. That's a shame. Skarner as well. But yes, that Bloodstone Taric, that looks really good. And that's the Jailbreak Graves, isn't it? Jailbreak.
Yes.
Well, I don't know why we didn't call him like sci-fi Graves.
I don't know. But looks like skins advantage actually going to SK though, so that's actually quite the big deal. 5 versus 3.
No, it's not. No, last season you corrected me. I think it's my role.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Skins don't really matter, guys. They just make you look prettier.
That's true.
Yes.
Which can
make you more popular as well. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So do look pretty.
I still like telling the story of when I was at CBIT last year, and one of the players came up to me and was like, dude, Piltover Customs Blitzcrank is so phenomenal. The first time I played him, I actually died because of the skin. because I pressed W, and the horn sound made me fall off my chair laughing, and when I got back up, I was already dead. So there, you got to be a little bit careful about that, but else you'll be okay. So we are into the game. You can see White Lotus, blue team here, spawning in the bottom left, and they're, of course, going to be fighting against SK. It looks like actually a pause called in from Ocelot real quick. And I'm not actually quite sure what the problem is.
He says bug with Sleazy?
Oh, Sleazy's resolution is wrong. So.
All right, okay. So he's just changing resolution right now. That shouldn't take too long. And yes, we do have a pause feature. I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. All right, okay, ready, going, K. Looks like they're going to be all right to go for this. And then we'll be back into the game. So not a big problem here.
All right, let's see if they actually want to have a fight at level 1. 7 unpause. No, try /unpause. That's better.
7 is a good way to start, yeah.
Yep, and play is resuming. That's beautiful. Okay, cool. So let's see the pickups from the supports here. Very, very standard from Soraka. A pink ward, 2 green wards, a potion, and a fairy charm. Does that mean that she had the gold masteries? You're the king of love.
I'm trying to think, because if you get a pink ward instead of a green ward, that instead of 2 green wards is 25 gold off. You could have done only 1 point in it and gotten this startup.
All right.
But needed some of it, yes. Actually, here's what you can do. You just check the gold, and you can see that she has 1 point. I was right. Oh my gosh!
Look at that. Not bad. Look at
I'm
you
so
being
happy with myself right now. That was like.
I was like, I don't want to calculate that. I know Freak enjoys calculating things like that, so I'll just let him do it.
Yeah, I do know that if you do Fairy Charm 1 potion 4 green wards, that's 0 money if you got the gold mastery. If you got wealth. And so I'm like, well, let's see. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So we actually have Brand is waiting up in mid. We can see the oh, wow. You are. Yeah, okay. So they're basically just looking around, trying to see the invades. You can see York up here watching the top, Brand watching mid, Graves watching towards the bottom. We had Tarek actually up towards the top in case there was an invasion, but he came down, and we're gonna see if they actually go for the golems. So I've actually seen this a lot. Recently, as players, their bot lane will go for the double golem. There's the ping. Yep.
Yeah, if you do it right, you take nearly no damage. Let me just point out something cute real quick here. Maokai actually starting with 15 AP. That's exactly the amount of AP you need to one-shot the Wraiths there.
Yep.
And
so
that I'm sure he picked up from the Odd One, because for a long time, nobody but the Odd One actually did that. And yep, that is a very, very quick way to start. Look at that. So very, very quick to go to the Wolves right now. And he's probably just going to skip the Wolves and go for blue, yeah. So he starts basically with 3 Wraiths. That is pretty much a big deal. Yep. And Nif, very beautiful there, just to give vision on the other side, and just to shave off a few more seconds of that jungle route.
Absolutely, and you can see pulling that golem, actually taking a lot of damage for it, actually just letting Maokai go into this lane with full health. You can see Nif just actually sitting there tanking for a while, but got heal at level 1 is going to be okay. Sleazy, you can see, almost full health, has not used the potion, and that's going to be fine. Top lane, do you think it's going to be an aggressive, like a lot of damage coming out from York, or will it be a full sustain fest?
I would expect the sustain fest, just like spamming Ease. What's he called? Hungry, right? He's just going to spam Hungry all the time.
Fair enough.
Isn't it Stinky, Spooky, and Hungry? No, Spooky, Stinky, and Hungry. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Spooky, Stinky, and Hungry.
Omen of Famine, by the way, for those who want to know. The name of the spell and not the ghoul.
Yes. Right. Yep. Bottom lane looks like just the usual farming, everybody being very, very passive there. And Ocelot has actually taken quite some damage already there. In mid lane is popping potions and is holding back. Obviously, Kassadin is not going to be that strong until he hits level 6. That's when he becomes a threat.
Interestingly, he actually put level 2 into Netherblade, so he's using that either to regain some mana to spam Qs more, and also when you activate it, you last hit pretty easily. Your attack basically goes up to like 100 or so. And I'm just looking at his whole setup, and he's only got 10 AP, so he's got runes somewhere that aren't just flat AP. So. A little bit defensive of a start there for him. A little bit
magic resist, I believe. And the reason he eats another W. Ooh, that wasn't so good. Anyway, the reason he does the W, of course, is because he's going to use the R offensively, and then when he's in your face, he's going to want to proc the Netherblade.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would even be surprised to see him maxing it first.
Really?
Or second after Q, obviously. Q
interesting.
We'll have to see. He's probably going to get a little bit of E just for the slow, but so far it's two in Q and 1 in W.
Maokai is coming in to gank top lane. Sleazy's there in the brush, already level 4.
That's fast.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to wait for... Yep, he goes for the last hit, and there he goes, up in there. Got the root down. There's the slow as well. Famco taking a lot of damage, down to half already. Jumped in from there by Aurelia, but he's going to get out just in time. 200 health as he's going through the health potion. Meanwhile, mid, a little bit scary for Ocelot, but he's surviving for now.
Oh, and Sleazy failing the flash there as he just came back, because Famco did pop the ghost to get out of that gang. Sleazy left, and then he was like, haha, psych, I'm going to come back and flash back in, but unfortunately he got stuck here right at the corner there. That could have been a first blood right there for SK.
Okay, and you can see Ocelot, though, down to half health, has used his last health potion here. And Sleazy coming back to gank mid. He's just still not farming. He's going for this jump onto Force. Follow him around. You can see that he is going for a last hit, and there is Sleazy. Of course, his flash is down, which means he can't do enough there. Or won't get anything out of that one. Spawn actually got quite low, though. You can see, despite having Tarek, who actually is still not ranked a point in heal, actually.
Wow.
2 in Shatter, 1 in Dazzle, and then it got out of health, so...
Yes, that's what's happened. That's what happens when you don't have a heal. And it looks like the bottom lane is now slowly turning in Candy Panda's favor. Spawn is going to lose a little bit of farm there if they push it quickly enough. That's exactly what Candy Panda is doing right now. As you can see, he's right-clicking those minions to push into the tower as quickly as possible, just hoping not so much to do damage to the tower, but just to make the tower kill some of those creeps so that Graves misses them.
And a couple of things I want to point out real quick is Candy Panda just put a point into Ricochet now at level 4. Knowing that he's fighting against Tarek Graves that have that point stun, he wanted that early point in Spell Shield to make sure he didn't get jumped on, didn't die. And you can see his flash and his heal are both up. But Nif actually did have to burn his flash a while ago because presumably he got jumped on by Tarek and Graves, but with flash was safe. So just, FYI, a little bit of those build considerations. When your lane is brutal, you might want an early point in Spell Shield.
Yes, that is not a bad idea at all. Of course, if you have the reflexes to pull it off.
Yes.
But, Tarik's stun kind of travels like an ocean liner, so you should have the time. It's not the fastest particle in the game.
Not exactly, but look at the last hits right here. We can see, let's look at the mid lane first. We got 26 for this Brand, and 42, by the way, for Kassadin. So
how is he doing this? How is a under level 6 Kassadin out farming a Brand? I don't understand.
That's pretty brutal, though.
Yeah.
That's just really good for him.
Yep.
And there we go. Candy Panda just blocks that stun. They're fighting against Spawn, doing some good damage. They're trading back and forth a bit. And actually, they've got pretty much equal items. Plus one Doran Blade. They both had to go back and buy. And Candy Panda, wow, that damage output really massive on Spawn.
But Skarner is right around the corner right now. There is the stun now on Nif, who goes quite low. There's an ignite on him as well. But Nif doesn't worry about that at all. He's actually going to heal Candy again, isn't he? Yeah, he's just going to heal Candy. And of course, he has 2 points in heal, so those heals actually do quite a lot. At the same time, Sleazy was setting up for something mid lane, but changed his mind there as he saw Skarner come up. I think he saw, I'm not sure. He just saw him or he sensed him with his Jedi senses. Top lane, Kevin is doing a lot of damage again against the Graves there. Fomko now running for his life, and we can see the same in the CS as well. 57 for Irelia versus 33 for Yorick. So
wow.
Yorick is trying to do the whole E-spam farming thing, but it's just not working out for him.
Yeah, he is falling behind, absolutely. Actually, he put 2 points into Omen of War as well, so he's actually using that for a bit of damage early on and not just going for full sustain.
Yes.
But yeah, we've seen without any kills or dragons or towers of either side, we've got a 900 gold advantage, 900 to 800 gold advantage for SK.
And Ocelot just stole the enemy blue.
Oh, wow. Nice play by Ocelot and, by Sleazy Weezy, of course. They've been coming on together, and they did seal it away, so good job.
Yep, Force still doesn't know this has been happening. He's pushing the lane quite aggressively, but now, surprise, surprise, there's an enemy Kassadin with the blue coming from the wrong angle.
Yep.
Yeah, and
they did try to steal that.
The second blue is, Skarner was trying to steal it, but look at how quickly bottom lane reacted. So I take everything back that I said before about Candy Panda and Nif being a little bit slow to leave the lane. That was very good reaction time there on protecting their own blue.
Although I think one thing they did wrong was actually clairvoyance him, because basically, blue team, White Lotus, they did ward this, and they did go for the steal, and SK were like, he's probably going to steal our blue. And so bot lane went up there, Kassadin went over, everyone started converging on it, then they CV'd. And when he said, the spotlight's above me, and he pieced out, and Skarner ran away.
Yes.
But if they knew he was going to be there and just going to do it, they'd be like, well, let's just bait him.
Take him,
yeah.
And Spawn has to go home again, very, very low health, and Candy Panda is just winning that lane like we predicted. He put 51 CS for Graves, 53 for Sivir, but she keeps sending him home, so he must be behind in experience now, mustn't he? She just hit 6. Graves is still 5. He's about at 6.
Yeah, he's close to 6 because also Sivir's recalling every time she pushes him back. She doesn't want to fight a lane down an item. So
okay, and that's
there we go.
Ultimate, and now that's going to be quite some damage to the tower done.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's actually that's doing a lot of hurt right there. They're almost out of minions though. They've got to be a little bit careful. They will back off at about 1,000 health.
Yeah, they were very careful. There was a CV from Nif as well, making sure that nobody was coming in through the northern path there. And Graves just came back into the lane and very, very aggressively doing good amount of damage here against Candy Panda actually. But Dumesha not in range to land the stun. Of course, there's the spell shield as well. So Darker, the Skarner came here for no reason.
Yep, he is still coming through very, very often, but they have it ward covered. Look at that, bam. There's the Boomerang Blade coming out, pushing back Skarner. Honestly, if I was Skarner, I'd just sit there and keep recalling and burning her mana, but...
Yeah. Oh, and actually, nope, I take it back. Ocelot is actually leveling the E. He just leveled that up to 2 right now. He's level 8 now. And there's the tears as well, and a second mana crystal. So, yeah, he is getting ready to use that R very, very aggressively in fights.
We're thinking Catalyst from that one?
Yeah, I'm guessing a Catalyst into probably Banshees after some AP items, because it'd be crazy to just build a late Rod of Ages. I mean, that would be pretty late, like a 15-20 minute Rod of Ages. You need the game to go 40 minutes. Yeah. It's 20 minutes, right? For the Rod of Ages.
10 minutes.
Is it just 10 minutes
Yeah.
for the fully... Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
Not playing APs.
Don't worry, you only work for the company that makes this game.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no expectation whatsoever of me being good at the game.
Valid.
Right, it looks like White Lotus are setting up for Dragon right now. Let's see if SK are aware of this.
Oh, they have a pick right there. They see him. White Lotus does not see bottom lane coming in yet, though, because Graves is actually still chilling. And, hey, by the way, they're rather nearby. Though Soraka did go to heal, so they've got to make this happen really soon. Graves has shown up there. There we go. In on the Darker. Darker taking quite a bit of damage. Boss Bandit in there as well. Sleazy almost getting blown up immediately. First blood does go down onto Tarek, but there's the Brand ult picking up Sivir back, but does get the kill back onto Skarner. Up here we can see Sleazy still jumping onto Force. Force might not get enough damage out, but it's going to be close. He will pick up the kill, but he'll die to that.
Banana!
Yeah, Soraka doing too much damage now, double buffed.
And there's Kevin right now onto Spawn. Spawn getting very, very low. Misses one of the ultimates. There's one more hit, and I think that's going to be a very dead Graves. Yep, there's the slow, and there's the kill. Ocelote taking the kill for himself. That
nice.
makes sense. I think that actually ended up better for SK. That was 4-2.
4 for 2, and I think Dragon's still there.
Yeah, Dragon is.
Dragon's still there, so very good job at SK, and of course they run by and like, yeah, sure is right there. So great job at SK, good coordination. They almost got that first kill, but I feel like Brand's ult was a little bit late. And that we sort of had the first kill already happen. Tarek died, and then I started seeing Pyroclasm come out. But if you'd gotten that early enough, I mean, they got such a fast kill on that Sivir. She did drop down right after that first kill happened. And if they'd gotten her, you know, just a second or two earlier, she really did cause most of that damage there. So
yeah, Skarner ulted her, and she was like, you know what, I know I'm going to die, so I'm just going to right-click someone before I die. And that did a lot of damage, because that, well, she just has the 2 Dawn's Blades right now, but that is enough. I mean, that's good damage with W and the Q going through the entire enemy team.
Yep, that Boomerang Blade.
Like they are looking to take bottom tower right now. I almost have it, actually.
Yep. And those bananas now applying red buff. Niff with infinite mana doesn't exactly have problems casting heals now.
Yes.
And they are just chain pushing. You can see Soraka Sivir running up there, just tossing a Boomerang Blade and Ricochet. And that turret might fall soon. Or I guess they're going to take that time to recall. They don't even want to go for it.
Interesting, interesting. They may have a lot of money in their hands right now. Yeah, 1,900 gold on Sivir. You do want to go and spend that. Maybe buy yourself a best friend.
Yeah, that sounds decent.
Yep. That's what you do. Irelia in top lane still dominating that Yorick. She is at 103 CS versus 84. I would say that's an advantage for Irelia.
Absolutely.
Mathematically speaking.
Yes.
Sleazy now trying something on Brand, but Kassadin's not quite back in the lane yet, so I'm not sure what Sleazy's doing. He may just want to come and hold the lane. Not sure. No, he's waiting the brush there. And Force is warding, and yep, perfect ward there. Good, dodges the Q and actually gets a sapling. Also, he comes across the wall, puts the silence down on him, but there's Dark, and also he has to burn his flesh because he is afraid of that lobster ultimate. That is not tasty at all.
That would have hurt him by quite a bit, and
yes,
of course, Brand should have has cooldowns back as well. So after that ult, he could have been just pulled in and hit with the seer and stun. So
yeah, but they are taking another blue away from Team White Lotus.
Yep, and they've got a lot of guys at the top too. They could almost pretty much just like jump the Yorick. Theoretically, just have the Kassadin jump over the wall with Rift Walk, and but he's gonna go ahead and just go for minions right now.
Yeah, just farm some more. And Sivir's playing against Graves by herself. Bot lane, Kenny Pana should be okay there. 89 versus 85. Somehow that Spawn guy is actually a pretty good player there, Freak. It took me a while.
Somehow he's a good player. Wow, that's
I don't understand how that works. But no, he's actually really, really good.
Yeah,
whenever I look at the bottom lane, it looks like they're being dominated, and then he ends up having more CS. And that was a good reaction time there on Kenny Panda, shielding that stun. That was a point-blank stun, and he still shielded it.
Yep, so doing very well, very well there. The Spawn getting pushed back.
Also, let's come in bot lane right now. Yep, they have not spotted him yet, and he's going to go in. There's the mark down on Graves, and that is certainly going to be a dead Grave if Ocelot... Oh, he's actually charging his ultimate.
Oh,
yep,
dear.
That's just what I said. He likes using the ultimate for damage. He has it at 3 stacks right now. How many is it? Is it 4 so? Yeah, anyway, he's going in right now. He missed the ultimate by a little bit, but Spawn is still going to go down. And one more ultimate on Tarek, and that should be a very, very dead Tarek right there. Oh, he flashed out of it, but it still wasn't quite enough. That was a beautiful move for the Tarek, flashing out of the Kassadin ultimate. But yeah, he just delayed his death by a few seconds.
Yeah, Brandon Skarner around there. Skarner, unfortunately, never getting it in range to pop that ultimate. They managed to kite him pretty much the entire time around. And Alhot's going to just go ahead and push this turret down with the team, and they're going to go for, it looks like the first turret kill of the game. That will be theirs. Niff going for the last hit there, and going to leave it to minions. All right.
Yeah, last hitting towers, of course, in our game, doesn't really do much. The entire team gets 150 gold no matter what we do.
Yep. And they're going to go now for the push onto this dragon, of course, when 2 were dead. Yeah, it's a long walk back from the summoning platform, so looks like going to be just fine with this one.
Yep, Skarner ultimate used there for a little bit of damage as well. And that now puts SK about, 5k gold ahead? That is pretty good.
Wow. Yeah, they're winning
about
by quite a
quarter
bit.
of the total gold that any team has.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say strong advantage right here for SK. Everything's going exactly like they wanted to go. And Ocelot is not even there with his build. I mean, he's not started buying damage. I mean, he has the boots, but that's basically it.
Yep.
And
But yeah, that ultimate, you just need some mana, and then, the AP ratio doesn't get multiplied as you get stacks of Riftwalk. It's just the 100 base damage that goes up, or the 60 base damage that goes up. So
exactly, stacks up to 10 times that, so you can do 600 additional damage if you stack it high enough.
If you can burn 1,000 mana per cast.
Yes. If you can do that, that's probably not going to happen.
Tall order.
Yeah, you'd need to stack a few Archangels for that.
No, just a few.
Yeah. It's looking very, very good, though, for Team SK right now. I don't know what would happen. They would need to really botch up a Nasher or just fail at the team fight. At this moment, it looks like everything's going exactly like they wanted to go, and they haven't even really started building damage on their main carries. I mean, the Sivir just now built the Bloodthirster. Ocelot is saving money, I would guess, for needlessly large rod, or is he just going to still go for a Rod of Ages? That's the big question right now. Because he could just conceivably leave that Catalyst in his inventory until he wants to turn into a Garden Cheese late game.
Yeah, well,
oh no, he's going for Rod of Ages.
Yep,
Okay.
and he already combined it, so that is the Rod of Ages. Plus 1 point for Freak. And let's see what they're going to do with this one. So they're pushing through mid a little bit. Sleazy kind of spamming down on this, getting babysat by Soraka. Like him, I still think, though, there's a pretty good chance for White Lotus because, again, they have that Yorick Graves combo. Looking at sort of what they've got here, Maokai's great for AoE, but he's not, I think most of his power really is in his ganking potential, and of course that's worked well so far. They've gotten a number of kills, some of them enabled by Maokai, some of them enabled just by his invasions, by giving blue to Ocelot, things like that. But I think Skarner, is a scaling monster. I think Graves is a scaling monster. Of course, granted Sivir is as well, but they have the ignites to block out those heals, and honestly, in a big enough team fight, if you don't get enough durability, and again, this team has a lot of stuns and suppressions, you can just pin down this Kassadin. If Kassadin gets in range to hit a Riftwalk, he can get Skarner ulted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, this is enough. Like, they can burn through that health. Like, yeah, he's got some magic resist, but Graves is a burst caster AD. So, he gets hit there by Q and R at point blank, and he's going to lose like half his health. So, realistically, I think certainly SK are winning, and honestly they're likely to win this game because of this advantage. But you cannot count the team composition out. There's definitely an opportunity to come back here.
Right. Yorick, of course, losing his top lane rather hard against Irelia. But Irelia's just, she's now finished the Trinity Force, and I think that should make you quite happy, Freak.
Oh, yes.
That means she's not going to go all tanking. Oh, look at that Tariq's health there.
0 MR on him.
Yeah, that's probably not good. What I mean by that is that that Irelia can still jump in and actually force Skarner to burn his ultimate on her, because she is going to be a threat with the Trinity Force. She actually puts out quite some damage.
Yes, tons of.
Yes, I didn't want to infringe on your copyright.
Thank you. Yeah, that is my line to say. Don't you dare steal that.
Yes.
Let's see what they can do. So they do have 3 mid. Aurelia's going to go back towards top lane, actually, and just jump around onto minions. And back to bottom she goes. Okay, back to mid she goes. No,
yes.
Okay, back to farming. Never mind.
Ocelot's still doing a lot of damage against anyone who gets anywhere within range. He's only at 87 AP right now, and they actually just watered it, and Sleazy Weezy going in against the great Yorick, but nobody following up. Beautiful ultimate there from Brand, but it's not actually doing enough damage. There's Yorick falling to Ocelot, who immediately flashes out again. Tariq falls as well, and I think that should be the team fight right there for SK. Yep, there's Graves and Skarner going down as well, and that could be a mid-init there. Irelia jumping in against the turn. There's the... Oh, no, not quite. Yeah, that's the ace. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Ocelot taking a lot of damage from that turret, but thankfully had the Soraka heal on, which made him survive that little encounter. And that was just a complete ace right there. They absolutely jumped on. And it was a 4v5 to start as well, as Kevin was not there at the beginning. She did jump in partway through that fight, but, they just dominated that fight really, really hard. Just... Maokai ran to the front. He took a little bit of that front-loaded burst. Didn't really care so much.
Yep.
And they just crushed everything. We saw basically Tariq just died to Ignite. Basically, got bursted down to about 5%, and they're like, "Yeah, he'll fall. It's cool, whatever."
And I saw a Brand ultimate go in and actually bounce perfectly between Sivir and Soraka and not do any damage. I think as a Sivir must have spell shielded on the first bounce. That's
could have spell some of it. I still have summoner heal up, so it wasn't that, but Nick definitely did burn Wish. That was some of it. Did have that rank 5 heal. That's a big deal as well. And they just got enough health back. They survived all that opening burst.
Yeah, that is going exactly the way it should. And everybody who was saying that SK's new team is not practice, and I think that team fight, even though Kevin wasn't there when he should have been there, it still went really, really well for them. And you saw Ocelot's positioning in the brush. He was in the very, very front. He wanted to do damage right away. And I really liked how he jumped over the wall with his ultimate just to finish someone off and immediately flashed out again before White Lotus could take advantage of the fact that he just got himself into the fight.
That is definitely a very smart move.
Yep.
You can see Candy Panda does have his Bloodthirster. That is actually all the way already stacked.
Wow.
Trying to see what Graves has, because he was winning. He was, tied in minion kills, and Graves, oh wow, he has a pickaxe and Doran's blades.
Yeah.
He's going Infinity Edge, but
I mean, that's the 8 assists versus 2 assists, right? And 1 kill.
Just now enough gold to buy a BF sword. He's just very much behind in items.
Yeah, it was a lot of finding Tarek here in the middle of the enemy jungle, and oh, so much damage. One more ultimate, and that Tarek is definitely down. Oh, nice. That was a nice little combo there, but it's not going to be enough. He stunned him and immediately flashed, hoping that he'd get away before he could ulti after him, but that didn't happen.
And he even had the clairvoyance to spot. He's like, hey, this guy flashed. He stunned and flashed over the wall. Can you see V? Yep. Okay, there he is.
Oh,
Easy.
wow. That was great. And Spawn! What are you doing? Ocelot is still around. And I'm not quite sure why Ocelot's not falling up. He didn't see the rest of the team, I guess. But that would have been like one more ulti. Kevin and Boss Spawn are not in any trouble at all as Sivir just pops the ultimate. Kevin actually has to flash because he doesn't want to get Skarner ultied. Candy Panda, yes, actually gets Skarner ultied right there. And that is definitely a dead Sivir right now.
Even Old says, I really want you to die.
Yeah, that was necessary. But okay, I guess that's a kill.
It's an 86 second cooldown. That's honestly not that bad.
Okay.
By the time Sivir gets back into another team fight, it'll probably be up. And actually, one thing that's actually really good about that, not only did they get, of course, the gold and the experience for the kill, but now Sivir has to restack that Bloodthirster.
That's true.
She's just lost 40 attack damage and 10% lifesteal. That's actually a pretty big deal.
Maybe Kevin should have just stayed there and made himself available for the Skarner ult, you know?
Yeah, maybe. She could have maybe tanked it.
Yeah. But yeah, still, that doesn't change anything about the game. SK are more than 11k gold ahead right now.
Yeah.
And actually, we just missed Kevin killing somebody in top lane.
Why was Tarek top lane?
I don't know. Farming, I guess.
I guess.
Or being farmed. Rather.
Yeah, well,
yes.
As the case may be.
Yeah, so White Lotus, definitely a very strong team. I mean, the bottom lane is very, very impressive here, but they may not be quite on the same level as SK. And I don't think anyone really expected them to make it out of the group stage here.
Fair enough. Yeah, they were the big unknown, though. You can see, Curse missing their lineup and solo mid, possibly on a very big losing streak. Certainly SK seems to be in great form right now. Maybe White Lotus is having a bad game, but you never know. The rest of the group, we haven't seen them yet. We have no idea if the sort of, just thrown together lineup of Curse is going to do well, or if Team Solo Mid is going to pick up their game because, they hadn't been doing that well in scrims before, so you never quite know. And they're actually going to jump in right now. They've popped the Shirelles, and there we go. Force has been knocked. And, oh, man, that is bad for you, taking so much damage. The ult does go off. Sleazy might get killed right away. The Maokai rather low on health, but looks like Tarek will fall. Sleazy, one more take of Ignite, will drop as well. So that's 1-for-1 in this fight. And there we go. Ocelot is running around, blowing people up. Has fallen. Now Darker's gone, though. Looks like they've lost 2 for 3. And SK are coming ahead farther and farther. They've dropped another one. Now Spawn is alone, but he's alone against 2, which isn't too terrible. Kevin can't quite chase that one down. It looks like
Candy Panda died to tower, actually. That's he didn't manage to get out of tower range there in time, and that Graves, that kill went to Graves, but it was actually the tower finishing him off.
Well, that's going to happen sometimes when you jump into a team fight inside of their base.
Yes.
I hear base defenses couldn't matter sometimes.
Kind of, yes. They can be kind of painful like that. But still, yeah, I mean, that wasn't a perfect fight there. Ocelot dying way too early there as well with his very, very aggressive usage of his ultimate. But still, SK are in a position where they can actually allow themselves to do something like this and just play a little flashy. They're still winning this game.
Yeah, they did pick up a turret. They did pick up, +1 kill, which of course is very relevant. Sivir dying again means again she's still, out of Bloodthirster stacks. But with the surviving member being Graves there, Graves is 2-3, and being 2-3 on a losing team is not so bad. And this Brand 3-3 as well. I mean, they are kind of the main carries here. I mean, Yorick's job is to make Graves better, let's be completely honest. Yorick's power level individually doesn't matter so much, so the correct champions are getting all the kills. And also one thing to point out, depending on when the assists were timed, Tarek being 0-6 means he's not worth all that much gold, which means that, those kills mean a little bit less individually. And of course you can see, they've got, 12,000 gold in the advantage. Obviously it's a big deal, but it's where that 12,000 gold is the most important part. And actually...
Skarner had to pop his Shirelles to get away from just Ocelot and Sivir. I like that too, by the way, in the fight in top lane just now. They coordinated Shirelles with Sivir ultimate. Very, very powerful, of course. That's just so much move speed for the entire team.
A little bit.
You get in range in no time at all.
Yep, and now actually an Atma's being picked up, so she's actually relying quite a bit on auto attacks. You can see 183 attack damage, quite a bit of attack speed as well. That critical chance in there for both Trinity Force and from the Atmas. That's actually a pretty big deal. She's actually, going for a lot of that fighting there and isn't stacking giant resists, only 100 magic resist, for example.
Yep. Now they're going for the bot inhib, and the question is, will White Lotus actually try to contest this? Will they try to go in and open possibly with another Skarner ultimate on one of the carries? Ocelot poking a little bit by using his ultimate to keep himself safe. They don't have to commit to a fight at all. They can just wear down the inhib slowly but surely. And there's the Sivir ultimate, making sure that White Lotus don't want to attack into this right now, and they just give up the inhibitor.
Yep, the mobility advantage is definitely very, very big from SK, and that they got to the inhibitor. Of course, they just caught Darker. Oh, no. Skarner, you were alone, and that was a mistake, and you are gone. And now it's a 5v4. The Sivir ult is gone. Of course, it did allow them to get that kill, as they ran over rather quickly.
And that's going to be Baron. That's going to be definitely
That is likely Baron. You're absolutely right there.
Without the smite on Team White Lotus, there's absolutely no danger to SK. And Ocelot is even going to hang around and say, like, yeah, you want to go and check Baron? I'm going to one-shot you.
That's true. Although Oracle's on Terex, if he doesn't get caught, there's the ward. Oh, wow. If Ocelot goes for this, he's crazy.
Yes, well, he is crazy. We know that already.
A little bit of damage. There's the ghoul. Face checks that brush. He's going to bait the team away a little bit.
Yeah, he's
Baron down to half. He actually can't go for it, so they're going to jump in on the enemy team. Oh, my gosh. You are so incredibly dead, Mr. Tarek. And they've actually jumped in onto Spawn as well, who's actually dropped immediately, being revived by Yorick. Ocelot having to run away. Kevin pretty low as well. Can Spawn do enough damage? Everyone flashing away over walls. Kevin very, very low. Will fall down. And Sleazy's in the middle of this as well. Will Yorick die? He's actually baiting for Ocelot. And the Sivir Q comes out as well. And they do pick up that kill. Only Kevin died, and they picked up 3 kills for it. That was incredibly good team play by SK. That looked a little bit hairy for a while. Yeah, Ocelot flashing in and using his ultimate here to go after Skarner. Now the Shirley are used by White Lotus, but as soon as they run forward, they turn around and run backward again because they realize there's all of SK, and there's the ulti kill from Ocelot. It's not looking very good for you right now, Darker. You are in a bit of a sticky situation. Yep, he's going to try to get himself out of there, but it's just not going to happen for them. It looks like we're at the scoreline of 23-7. Freak. SK are going to close this game out. Yep, they're onto the middle inhibitor now, and the ability of their team to just jump onto people is really, really phenomenal. They've got Cassidy who can jump in and out. They've got the amazing route from the initiate from Maokai. Yeah. And of course the ability with that Sivir ultimate just to have everyone run up there, and even the slower members like Sivir without her ultimate, of course, and Soraka, they're actually going to be pretty quick when that is on, and it's enabled them to jump onto people and do a lot of great things with that. Yeah, and it doesn't look to me like White Lotus really have an answer. I mean, they do have a good damage output right now from Graves. Brent never really got there with just 135 CS. He has a Rylai's. That's great for you. It's going to make people slow, but it's not going to do all that much damage. Yep. And that is really the problem. You have 1.5 Graves assists. They're doing the damages. Yep. That's really it. Well, he does, and a seal. So he's a force to be reckoned with. But on the other hand, look at the other team. I mean, there's Sivir doing tons of damage. There's Trinity Force!
There's a Trinity Force on Irelia. And Ocelot is also kind of big deal. Yeah, absolutely. I really would take, as far as individual damage output, I would take this Graves over this Sivir, just because the amount of damage there from Infinity Edge Seal is very, very large, and just in general, the steroids on Graves are quite good. But it's not going to matter when you've got the full team to consider. You've got the spell shield can stop a lot of that initiation. Right. You actually saw her block Skarner ultimate last time. That's when they had that 2v4 at the turret. That was because Skarner tried to get Sivir, and she blocked the ultimate with spell shield, and that enabled her to survive and enable the rest of that team to fight, because Skarner committed to a battle that was basically counter initiated. Yeah. And now they're just going for bottom. Tell me, Resident 24's expert, how does it work with the W? Oh, sorry, as we just see a team by breaking out right there. They're jumping immediately on Yorick. Yorick goes down in no time at all. They're fighting inside the Maokai ultimate. That's, of course, not a great idea. Kevin picking up the kill on Tarek. There is going to pick up the kill on Graves as well. Actually, Nif getting the kill credit there for Skarner. They're ignoring the rebirthed Yorick, who used his ultimate on himself, I guess, because he got focused so quickly he didn't get in range of Graves. And that's the team fight right there. Already another ace. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a surrender right now. Yeah, they're definitely very, very good. Excellent job. GG, well played out there. And SK now going for just the last couple turrets there. The next is going to fall as well. And this is going to be GG. SK 1-0 in the group stage. Next match, of course, will be Curse versus Team Solomid, who have finally shown up at the venue. And we're going to see how the rest of this goes down, because there's still so many more games to show. You were correct in your prediction about SK being the team to beat, and they've done phenomenally, but we do not know how the rest of this will turn out. So, stay tuned. Of course, we do have many more games to go. And so, let's look into this game, in particular, not just setting up the rest of the day, but also what else going on in this one.